Welcome to 0 to 60.
Matt McChesney.
Welcome to 0 to 60.
Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 60 Football Academy and 60 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. All right, we're rolling. Happy Monday. Fuck. Another Monday. We're rolling. 0 to 60 on the Believe Network. Thanks to Believe for all they do. My man Bailey and I are on today. We got a lot to talk about. There's no lies there. Remember, you can go on Spotify. You can go on YouTube. You can go on Twitch. All the social media platforms. And subscribe and like and follow and all that shit, but mainly YouTube. You can become part of the Dungeon family for $2.99, get exclusive content like all the film breakdowns that you don't see anywhere other than there. And then also, if you like and subscribe and we can push those numbers on YouTube and the show continues to grow with it, it's about to blow up because we got some fucking news coming this week, baby. Yeah, things are good. So, Bailey, let's pay some motherfucking bills and let's roll.
All right, welcome to 0 to 60. This show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason to college football kicking off, BetOnline is every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here, and we roll. Matt, how you doing, man? Happy Monday. Here we go.
I'm good, bro. We were supposed to be on Friday, but I was feeling like a real bitch Friday, so I didn't want to be on the I didn't want to do the show. So, yeah, all the bitches out. We're rolling on fucking Monday. Let's go, dog. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. We may have a surprise guest here in about 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. But, man, so Colorado had their open practice out in Denver on Friday, man. There's a lot of takeaways that we can kind of take away, but I think the biggest one is Colorado's run game looks very improved. So, as we see here, Hayden, they got Hood, they got Offerdahl, all making plays here. And so, Matt, I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what you saw in the open practice and, just get your thoughts of it, man. The run game looks good.
Look, I wish I could have gone. We had practice, and I couldn't make the open practice because we had practice at Mount Vista. We leave for Hawaii tomorrow to play the opener. I don't know why we're going to Hawaii week 1, but I'll take it. That's pretty cool for Nick. But I wish we both could have gone because, look, man, I've been saying this, and I've been beating this fucking drum about how much better the offensive line is, the coaching and the players. And it just is. They're good. They're really good. So, I'm sure that Coach Sapp and Coach Lewis are a little pissed off that they got gouged and we're talking like this. But that's okay. That's part of this. You got one of them's going to win. One of them's going to lose. This is just the way this goes. The open practice, unfucking believable idea. Yeah. Unbelievable idea. Fucking Coach Prime is such a G to do an open practice at Denver South High School, have everybody there, bring the community in, open up the doors to everyone. He even made peace with CBS.
Yeah.
He's just a bad motherfucker, dude. And when you think about what he's doing for just the state of Colorado, the community, the football program, I'm excited. But look, back to the O-line. The offensive line is mean. They're big. They're physical. Loadholt is on their ass. There's depth, so there's extreme competition, whereas last year we couldn't find 5 guys. So there's no push. You can play shitty and still start. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So, look, man, all of this like vitriol you keep hearing, people are stacking the deck that CU is going to suck. Just stacking the fucking deck, and I don't get it. So if you can't see the writing on the wall, are they going to give up points? Yes. Everyone in college football is going to give up fucking points other than Iowa, but they're not going to score any. So who gives a shit?
Yep.
So look, dog, I think that the growth of this unit throughout the season is going to be incredible. And look, I think that you're going to get smash mouth CU at the opener against North Dakota State. Yeah, they're going to let Shedeur eat, but I wouldn't fucking put it past the offensive game plan to be line up and run the fucking ball 40 times. At the tone and let everybody know that this isn't the fuck around unit. Like we can do more than just slice and dice you. Do you understand? And I've been saying this since day one. Like I should get a t-shirt printed. If we ever do t-shirt printing, maybe we should make this shirt. When Shedeur doesn't have to do everything, he can do what? He can do anything.
Anything.
Just think about this. If you run the fucking football and they have to put an extra man in the box to stop it, and you're averaging 4 yards a clip, and you just keep hammering, those skill players and Shedeur Sanders, good night, game over, fucking 50 points a game. And if you don't think that's possible, you're a fucking moron. So look, the defense, I'm more concerned about the ability for them to stop the run on first down. And they have great players on the defensive line. And look, the fact that these good players got their ass beat and were gouged in the scrimmage, good. Like the scrimmage on Saturday in high school, like Nick went out there and got his ass kicked a couple of times. Good, let's learn, baby. Like this is great. Oh, yeah, man. So I want them to struggle. I want them to keep learning. But the growth of the offensive line is going to be huge for this football team, and they are the tone setters. All right, if you have some dogs on the O-line and you got some guys that can fucking go get it. I mean, playing with in 01 on the Big 12 title team that I played on, the offensive line was Victor Rogers and Andre Gerard and Dan Graham was the tight side. So if you didn't bring your lunch pail at practice, they would fuck you up.
Oh yeah,
they fuck you up, dog, like bad. So that I see this in this team. I'm not saying they're those kind of players, but Jordan Seaton might be the first pick in the draft when he comes out. Well, likely, and if you don't think that's fucking realistic, you're not watching, you're not paying attention. And trust me, this week the news I'm going to drop this week from fucking Hawaii with a fucking a lay on, or I'm going to be leaving. If you like the hip videos, just wait until you see the hip videos in Hawaii. Oh my god. But the news I'm dropping this week, the access we're about to fucking have up there, even better than what we already had. Fuck, dog. Just be ready. Hold on to your ass. Take both hands. Hold on to your ass because we're going for a ride.
No doubt. And last thing I'll say on this run game, Dion was, Coach Prime was talking about Colorado's run game. He says we could freaking run the ball. Take a listen here.
The running back, shoot. The running back, we can run the heck out of the ball. I think we have ample running backs that can get the job done. We're trying to wait to progress the freshmen to make sure they can play up under the lights with a sold-out crowd and a packed house and everybody chant. They hadn't played in that atmosphere. We're trying to make sure, but we got some guys with some years of experience under their belt that can do a wonderful job, and that's what we expect from them.
A couple more, Jack. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we saw Offerdahl, we saw Brandon Hood, we saw Hayden. So I think, they're deep, man. They're deep at that position. So I'm excited to see with this improved offensive line, and Brown and others. I'm excited.
I bet you Charlie O goes off.
Yeah.
Bet.
No, I agree.
All of them can't go off, dog.
Yeah.
Like I know there's only one football, but the guy facilitating that football is elite. And the system is set up for him to get rid of that motherfucker. And they can run the ball. Shit. I know I'm a homer, but motherfucker, get your mind right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that. I'm excited to see how this trend. They have a lot of weapons in one football. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Staying on the CU scrimmage, Tajay McCoy, edge rusher. He had an impressive performance in their open practice on Friday here. As you can see, he sacked Shedeur Sanders a couple of different times here. I just want to obviously the D-line kind of struggled against the run, but we see the edge rushers kind of getting some success against CU's tackles. What are your thoughts on this?
Good. I want to see pass rush. I want to see guys win. That ball should be gone. let's be real. That ball should be gone. He's looking deep. Maybe he should. Maybe the progression is short to deep instead of deep to short. So thanks, Coach Stokes, my man. But look, we want pressure. That's what it's set up. They're probably playing team pass right now. Everybody knows they're passing the football and they're getting after it. Good. I want an edge rusher. You got to have some motherfuckers that can get after the quarterback. We struggled with that last year as well. So look, this is my opinion. You have to earn the right to pass rush. You have to earn the right to pass rush. If you're a 3-down defensive lineman, which in college I was, in the NFL, obviously I wasn't since I got moved to guard. But in college, I was a 3-down defensive lineman. I could play the run and I could also play the pass. So if you're that guy and you earn it on 1st and 2nd down and it's 3rd and 7, and we know we're throwing the fucking ball like they obviously are in that situation here, then yeah, let's see if you can get home. You better get home. Mm-hmm. Like, for real, if you can't beat offensive linemen in one-on-one pass situations consistently, you can't play the fucking position.
I agree.
Especially when you know. Now, it's totally different when you can screen and draw and reverse and misdirection and the flow of the game and fatigue. And when we double team the fuck out of you 8 times straight, then can you still pass rush? How do you do your pursuit? There's so much more that goes into the defensive line. But in a situation like this where it's controlled, you'd like to see guys win like this. Yeah, that's big time. And look, I always say this too as an offensive lineman. You got home, but did you finish? Because I watch guys over pursue the quarterback all the time, and it looks like you're about to kill him, and all of a sudden he's like, whoop, and you fall over or roll out of the way. Caleb Williams was breaking motherfucking ankles the other day. Everybody thought they was getting a sack on Wayne. Nope, he's out. Nice. I remember in 2004 when I was a senior, we played Texas at home, and that was Vince Young, Cedric Benson. Like, that was the year before they won the Natty, and they only lost one game that year, I think. They lost to Oklahoma. And the next year they were undefeated and won the Natty, but that year they were pretty fucking loaded too. They had Roderick Wright on defense and what was fucking dude's name? Played middle linebacker for the Chiefs forever from Texas. He's a badass dog. The Griffin brothers in the secondary, they were loaded. But we're playing Vince Young, and I'm having a good game. And I get in the backfield, and Vince is standing there, and I'm running him down, and I'm like, I'm about to nail this motherfucker right before the 1 and the 0, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know how he sees me, but he just like rolls over, and I go right over the top of him and miss him, and I'm just like, motherfucker! He just hits the ground, and he just takes the fuck off. So you got to finish the play too. But I appreciate that he won the rep, but finishing the play is also important.
Yeah, no doubt. And Coach Pine was asked about the defense's performance. He says that that he likes the improvement, that they have 7 to 8 NFL guys on defense. Take a listen here.
I in my office today and thought about the potential NFL guys. I think we're looking at 7 to 8 guys on defense that'll probably be pros at the conclusion of the season. And that's not putting none on it. That's not lying. That's I talk to the scouts every day. I think a few of them are there to meet me today. Oh my God, is that my dog? It is. I know those guys. Awesome. Yeah, 7 or 8 guys I feel like is going to get drafted.
I see BJ.
Matt, your thoughts on that? Do you agree?
Look, do I agree that there's 7 to 8 defensive guys that are pros? Mm-hmm. Shit, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's just name Hunter might be the first pick in the draft to win the Heisman. He already said Trevor Woods. Now, you don't have to be a starter to be a pro. Woods could play on special teams for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's the perfect guy. It's what they're looking for. Dudes that are going to do the job, right? So,
Bentley.
And then let's talk, like, the up front, you've got Green, the transfer, right? And you've got Hayes. Those are both of them are pros. That's 4. Mm-hmm. All right. Bentley, I think he's a pro. That's 5. All right. Let's see. The Stoudemire kid, the other corner, he's young, but he's probably a pro. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look, he knows better than I do. Maybe it's a little high, but at the same time, shit, yeah. Everybody thinks they're going to the fucking league. Yeah. I mean, and look, if your team's good, again, like, not to be an old head, but I'm an old head. The 01 team I played on, you look at that team picture and dude, almost half the team has their fucking NFL pension. That's not like, it's not a mystery why we fucking won. Just because we had fucking badasses that all played in the NFL. So, like, it's not a fucking mystery. So, If you have 7 or 8 off or potential NFL defensive players on the defense, they should fucking beat the shit out of people this year. And look, that if that means giving up 21, 24 points a game, I know that's a little high in people's heads, but in college football, you give up 21, you should fucking win the majority of your games. You give up 21 points. Let's be real.
Yeah, and it's in college football, it's very high scoring. People tend to forget that. Oh man, how do you feel? Look, before we move forward here, I just want to ask you. We've kind of talked about this before. We are seeing more and more takes come out from people in the media about how they feel about Colorado. How do you feel Colorado will fare in the Big 12? I'll just get your take first.
I think that they're going to be a top 4 team. Mm-hmm. That said, who are the top 4? Okay, so if you look at their schedule, they get Kansas State at home, they get Oklahoma State at home, and they get Utah at home.
Yeah.
All right, and they go on the road to Kansas, but is it really a road game? No, it's an Arrowhead.
Yeah, true.
So that's a destination game. That's a place people want to go to fucking Arrowhead and watch KU and CU play. That's dope. Mm-hmm. So that's a neutral site. Mm-hmm. So you get a bunch of these really good teams in the Big 12 on your turf. Now, that means that when you go on the road, when you go to UCF, you can't stumble. When you go to Texas Tech, they're going to be fucking good, dog. Yeah. You go to Texas Tech, you can't. Like, I played in Lubbock. That place was bombed out and depleted when we played there then. I'm sure it's no better. Okay? But it's a tough place to play, and that fucking turf is fast, and they love their football down there, and they get after it. So I think that when you're looking at like, okay, what potentially are we going to do in the Big 12 if they can figure out a way against those 5 teams, in my opinion, because they should beat Baylor at home. They're a good team, but we should win that game. Going to UCF, I'd like to think that the guys will be up to play in Florida. That's going to be a trap game and a tough one. Yeah. And Gus Malzahn's team is super physical, and that KJ Jefferson is no punk. So we'll see. They should beat Cincinnati at home. If K-State, Oklahoma State, Utah, Kansas, okay, those games, you got to win 3 of the 4.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to. You have to find a way to beat Utah at home, to beat, Oklahoma State at the end of the year at home, to beat Kansas State at home. If you have those 3 games at home and you win all 3 of those games, you're playing in the Big 12 title. You might be the favorite in the Big 12 title and ranked extremely high. But if you can beat those teams at home, you should be able to beat everyone else's ass.
No doubt.
There's no punks in the conference, but you get a lot of the big dogs at home. And then the other team that's on the rise in KU, I mean, you get them on a neutral site. So everything's lined up here for Colorado to, let's say they go 1-2, God forbid, in the preseason. Mm-hmm. You still have the entire Big 12 slate in front of you where you can just make things right. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. Like, the worst case scenario, I think they're 2-1 in the preseason, or in the non-conference season. I mean, the only game I see them like maybe struggling in and potentially dropping is Nebraska. There's no fucking way they're losing to North Dakota State and CSU.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
After what I heard today about CSU, the shit that we're about to talk about.
Oh boy,
fuck! I'm telling you, the veterinarians, they'll play for fucking cow pies, dog. They don't like money.
Oh man! All right, staying on this Big 12 CU topic, Joe Klatt was talking about how he believes CU is a dark horse to win the Big 12. Take a listen.
Future guest, booked.
Got these 2 dark horses. Colorado's a dark horse for this thing. I would be insane to not put Colorado in there as a dark horse for the Big 12. They're really talented. They might have the best quarterback in the entire league, and their skill position players are insanely talented. This is a team that went from 1 win to 4, where it's really threw away a couple of other wins. Should have been a bowl team last year, and everyone's like, well, can they go to a bowl? Can they go to a bowl? What are you talking about? Like, this team, I think, is an 8 or 9 win team, which puts them in the conversation in a deep quality league for a potential bid to the Big 12 championship game. If they keep Shedeur Sanders upright and he can throw to some of these talented players on the outside like Travis Hunter, watch out. Colorado's going to win a lot of games. They've got a difficult stretch early. North Dakota State, they play early. Nebraska, they play early. If they win both of those games, then watch out, because guess what? It's going to be 2023 all over again. That hype train is going to be barreling down the rails, and I might be driving it.
Yeah, Matt, your thoughts on that?
Guy right there. That's my guy. You know, Joel and I are boys, known each other forever. We were obviously captains together. I think he's the best at what he does in the world. Like, he's unbelievable. You know, what he sees and how he sees the game is it like makes me jealous, and I think I'm a bad motherfucker when it comes to how I see the game. So he's going to be on the show here in the next 2 weeks, probably after we get back from Hawaii. But a future guest and just a badass. And look, he's right. Like, all this doubt, the doubt is simply because you don't like Dion. You don't like the way CU carries themselves. You have an agenda. You can't look at the team and think that they're not going to fucking be pretty good. All right. And if they underachieve and it goes south, we'll all eat crow. We'll have to do it. That's the way it works. Okay. I've explained this in the past. It's just what it is. You can't meet it with fucking anger. You just got to accept the fact that you were wrong. But dog, I'm putting a lot of fucking money this year, betting wise, on the fact that it's not. I'm not. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is here. And I think this football team has an unbelievable potential in front of them, even coming off a 4-8 season. Think about this. They blew the Stanford game. I thought they blew the Oregon State game. Okay. I thought they blew the Arizona game. Period. Those were all one-score games. The fucking Stanford game, they were up 29-0 at fucking halftime. Like, kill me now, God. All right. The fucking refs, in my opinion, the refs totally fucked them out of the Utah game. They took 2 touchdowns off the board on some bullshit. All right. Guys playing football, and all of a sudden they're getting flagged. So they lost 6 games by 1 score. They got smoked by a good team. Yeah, Oregon beat the fuck out of them. We know this. But they should have beat SC.
Yeah.
Let's be real, man. UCLA beat the shit out of them on the road. They shouldn't have won that game. But every other game they arguably could have won. So when you're on that, when your big dogs went through that, you're going to be pretty good the next year. You learn from that. You think the Sanders family is real adept to fucking losing? No. No one in that family is adapted. You might get them once, but you ain't just going to start fucking picking up Italian wins against the Sanders family, dog. That's just not the way it works. So, look, if you don't think they're going to be successful, you're either a fan of the other teams, which is okay, or you have a vendetta and a vindication against them, which isn't – I don't give a fuck if you do it, but I think it's pretty cowardly. But at the same time, if he was the coach at Nebraska, which is like blasphemy – and Matt Rule was here, and look, that could have happened. They interviewed Matt Rule at CU. Yeah. And that in fucking bizarro world, in a different universe, which is the way Marvel does everything. So fuck it. If that was flipped, I don't know if I would be as enamored with everything. And I respect Coach Rule in Nebraska. You know how I feel about them. I hate them, but I respect them. Yeah. So, you have to put yourself in their shoes too, but I will say you're wrong. So, look, dog, I think that the potential here is through the roof, and I know I'm being super positive about it today, and I don't know how you can be negative, dog. I don't know how you can look at this team and go, I just think they're going to be a 4-8 team again. I just don't see, unless you have a fucking vendetta and a vindication against them, that shit ain't happening. It's just not happening. They're too good.
I agree with you. Man, so before we continue, we got 500 people in here. Go ahead and subscribe and become a member for only $2.99. Best $2.99 you ever spent in your life. Man, Matt, before we bring on our special guest in about 5 minutes here, I wanted to bring up this topic. Colorado is ranked the #1 most fun college in the United States, according to 247 Sports. This is an interesting list. I've never really seen this before, but man, what are your thoughts on this? Can you kind of talk about this and attest to this and explain why this is true?
Why CU kicks ass? Dude, if this was even pre-Deion Sanders, this is no news. Like, dog, we fucking party. Look. All right. Any buff knows that all the Maimons are outlawed. If you don't know what a Maimon is, that sucks for you, but they've been outlawed. All right. Like, we rewrote the rule book on partying in that motherfucker. You used to have to live in the dorms for 2 years as an athlete. After my recruiting class came in for 1 year, all right, or 2 years. In 2 years, like 7 of us got suspended for the Fiesta Bowl. We were all on academic probation, getting arrested, fighting, fucking everything you could. It was fucking mayhem. It was fun as fuck. I loved it. But yeah, we partied our dick off. College, look, CU was super fun, but you can get in a lot of trouble. Look, I don't know how these kids get away with it with cell phones. I had a fucking pager, dog. Like, you could get away with goddamn near anything back in the day, and that wasn't me. Now everything's recorded and shit. Like, fuck. I don't know how you party as hard as I know they're partying, but I don't know if they were partying like us. Shit. But I know that this place is really fun. I know that. So, you know, Colorado is the land of the free, home of the brave. Everything's legal here. Maybe that's why they're so miserable in Nebraska, because you can't even smoke a joint when you go to jail. But you can drink 12 Budweisers and fuck your sister.
Unbelievable. Oh, just looking at some of the schools on this list compared to Boulder, you got Iowa, Texas, UT Austin. That's fair. Iowa,
bro. Iowa City is fun as shit.
Really?
Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah.
I've never been out
Especially
there.
on game day, that place fucking rocks.
Yeah, you got Missouri, Columbia, Missouri. You got Madison, Wisconsin, Tucson. Yeah, that's accurate. I don't see any SEC schools on here. Except Missouri. What about, I can tell you firsthand, Bama and Tennessee, you should have on that list. Those are great places to go.
Definitely Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I tell you firsthand, I live out here.
It's fucking dope, dog. Tennessee, Knoxville is super cool. They've got Gage Ginther from Fossil Ridge went to Tennessee last year, and he comes back and he's like, "It's so fucking awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, Gage. Fuck."
That's great. I can't imagine playing football here, man.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, they're going to be poised for a good season this year. They got a new quarterback, big NIL deal, but he's
I really think that Tennessee is on the up, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if they win a natty in the next couple of years. They got 2 5-star tackles the other day. They're just they put together great NIL deals. I know this because one of my guys got one last year. They got dudes. I mean, Gage is a really fucking good player, and he's telling me, like, look, it is a war every day at practice. And, like, if you don't bring your lunch pail, you're getting fucking embarrassed. And, like, that's how you know you got a good fucking football team, homie. So, yeah, I think Tennessee is going to be really fucking good.
I believe they just got a commitment. The big tackle.
They got 2 5-star tackles. They got David, I think his name's David Johnson. They got him. He's a fucking monster. And the big Hawaiian Samoan kid, I can't remember his name, but he's a monster too. So they got both of them. They got 2 5-star tackle commits. Are
you a fan of Josh Heupel?
Yeah, I am. Heupel was a good college quarterback. Won a natty with Oklahoma when I was in college. Good dude. Like, really cares about his guys and pushes them. Sarah Blake, who is, a friend of the show and a huge Tennessee fan. She's like, I'm going to be on her show here pretty soon. She's going to come on ours. So we would get a whole bunch of Tennessee information from her.
Yeah. You should ask Coach JB.
Yeah, JB loves her.
JB loves her. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
I fucking love it, dog.
Unbelievable. Oh, man. Hey, we got 560 people in here. We appreciate you watching. Become a member. I believe we had a couple questions from the chat before we go forward here.
Well, fucking serve them up.
So from Joe Accord, he says, "Hey, I'm confused. Is Warren Sapp a paid assistant or is he assistant volunteer?"
No, he's getting paid. You don't volunteer. Nobody's volunteering. He's getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
He's Damian Lewis. I don't know why Lewis is the D-line coach and he's the assistant, but Warren Sapp's the D-line coach. They're co-defensive line coaches. There's no like, do this, Warren. And he's like, yes, sir, Damian. That's not the fucking way it works. So he's 100% getting paid. I guarantee you that there's going to be like a change in his job title after the season. So he had to get his college degree too to come get the coaching job. So there's a lot of ins and outs and interested parties and whatnot. Good question.
And yeah, if you guys got any more questions, keep it coming. And the NCAA just passed something where you can have unlimited coaches now that can be on the sideline.
Yeah, you can fucking hire whoever you want and just kind of throw them out there and call them whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other thing where it's like,
let's talk, dog.
It is what it is. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh man. Oh man! So before we have our special guest on here, I wanted to get your take on this. So Phil Loho talking about what his perspective was like when he was at Oklahoma facing Colorado and people basically wanting them to lose. Take a listen.
Eyes on us, right? Everybody's watching us. Everybody. You know, when I was at the school that I was at last year, and I tell some of the coaches this, right? CU football was on the TV after every game, right? You know, you go in the locker room and we got the TVs on, and maybe y'all not surprised, but you'd be surprised how many people just wanted us to lose. You know what I mean? And I looked at it, and it was me and another coach, and I'm like, man, shit, I hope they win every game. You know what I'm saying? That's Coach Prime. I ain't even know him from Cannon Paint, but I hope they win every game. And I said to myself, man, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm gonna go join that staff. And it just happened, right? It happened. It was meant to be to me, right? So I'm excited to be here with y'all and continue to push my group to be the best they can be. Right? So that
Matt, I'll stop it there. Your thoughts on that?
He's a bad motherfucker, Phil Lodeholt. That's my guy right there. Fountain Fort Carson product, proud Colorado guy on the staff, and he's fucking proud to be. But that's true, dog. That is the way it goes. People want CU to lose. They aren't just like, oh, well, they lost. That sucks. They're like, fuck yeah, they lost. Fuck them. And that is so motivating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing more motivating than, like, I'm telling you, turn back the clock. 04, my senior year, is when the Katie Nida scandal hit. And it was a fucking shit show. I had never met her, but it was definitely bad. Coach Barnett got suspended. Nobody got invited to the combine out of my entire group because they blackballed us, like, thinking that everybody at CU is a bad guy. We got the fucking local and national press saying we're going to go 0-12 and we're losing guys to transfer and everybody's a bum and a rapist and all this other crazy shit. And I remember being on that team at the media day and having BG Brooks, who's a writer for CU forever, who, look, no offense to BG, but fuck him, sitting there and asking me and Joel Klatt, Sam Wilder, the captains, me, Joel Klatt, and Purify, are you prepared to be on one of the worst Colorado football teams ever? And like, I'm picking you guys to go 0-12. And it was like, I couldn't even answer the question. I was so angry. I remember Joel just like touching me, like, just shut the fuck up. Don't talk. And like, he answered the question, like, teams come together. We got a lot to play for, blah, blah, blah. We're playing for our coach. We're playing for our school. We took the names off the back of our jerseys. It's the only time we ever did that in CU history because it was the nameless team. Like, and we ended up going 8-5 and winning the fucking division and playing for the Big 12 title. So you can sit around and talk shit all you want and act like you don't like us and vote and go against us. But I'm telling you, that's just going to fuel this fire for these guys. All this fucking hate and all this bullshit that's getting thrown at CU because what? They got swag? Because they're not just a bunch of they're not doing it the way that fucking people want them to do it. Because all these old white motherfuckers out here are mad too. And then look, anybody that's a span of another team, you can just immediately go to whatever garbage you want to pick up and throw at them because it's definitely being thrown.
Yeah.
So just because it's different than the way you may like things, that doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, it probably means it's pretty good. If it's pissing off the majority of the people, God damn it, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Man, our special guest is here, Matt. We got a lot to talk about with this. You know, this person is, you know, I look at this person as like a mentor to myself. He's been great to me. You guys all know him as from Last Chance U is Coach Jason Brown. Coach JB, welcome to the show.
What up, man? You hear me?
Yeah.
No.
How you doing on this Monday?
Chilling, man. Running around like crazy right now. I'm supposed to be on vacation, Matt. But for you,
vacation.
Yeah.
Where would you go on vacation? How was Arizona?
I don't go on vacation. Vacation just means I don't fucking do a show. So I buy a boat instead. I bought a fucking boat, and
You bought a boat? What'd you name your boat?
Slapdick. It's already registered.
That's fucking awesome. Well, it's good to see your ugly fucking face again. Did you get my text? That's pretty cool, huh?
About Shador or whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Not Shador. My bad.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, good talk. Okay. All right, Bailey, let's serve this motherfucker up. Let's go.
All right, so we got a big topic here. So Colorado State quarterback Braden Fowler Nicolosi was talking about turning down $600,000 to go play somewhere else besides Colorado State. I'll play this video and then I'll get you guys' take.
It's how I was raised. I didn't come here to make money. I came here to win games and play ball for the Rams. So I think if we play ball here, we do our job, we do what we're supposed to, we win championships, go to the playoff, shock the world, I think the money will come eventually. My job in college isn't to sit here and try to make as much money as I can. I know the new landscape is exciting for a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but at the end of the day, I'm a 20-year-old kid with higher goals in life than to make money in college. And so as much of a blessing as that would be and set myself up for a long time, I think if I do my job here and we get it done and perform like how we know we're supposed to, I think there's several people on this team that will be taken care of for life after.
Man, Matt and JB, what are you guys' thoughts on this? JB, I'll let you go ahead first.
Yeah, you go first.
What's your question? What
are your thoughts on that? Him turning down $600,000 from another school to stay at Colorado State to win championships is what he said.
And go to the playoff.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys will be set up for life. And $600,000 apparently is a ton of money. What?
I don't know, but it's sad that college football has become this. Like I don't know your take, but like it sounds like Matt's like going to talk about him like turning it down. I'm going to talk about being offered it. Like the sad part is we're being poached every day on someone's roster, and now we're going to talk shit to the kid for saying I'm going to stay somewhere with Norvell. I know Norvell well. Matt and I talk about it all the time. I know Jay. He is a retention guy. He's always been able to hold on to his talent, even at Nevada, K-State, his days around as a coordinator. Kids have always liked him. I do know that. So it isn't a shocker that the kid's staying. The shocker is that, A, is it the truth? B, why are we being poached at an all-time high and no one's really talking about that? Kudos to him. I wish we had more guys like him if it's a true story, though. If it's not true, then it's just a bunch of bullshit, and it sounds like some bullshit. I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Look, the opportunity, if he wants to stay at Colorado State, I respect that. I'm with it. I dig it. I don't have a problem with it at all. You're loyal. But if Kansas State offers you 600 G's, I would hope that Colorado State at least is paying him 3. Like, it's just the nature of the business now. You got to put your money where your mouth is. That's just the way this works. And until they stop poaching, it's going to increase. It's just going to get worse. So
here's my issue, Matt. Like, when do you call?
I appreciate the loyalty, but I really hope that Colorado State is at least paying him something. And then the other thing is he going to turn down 300 G's from CSU to stay there? Fuck no, he's not. So it's not just about I didn't come here to make money. So apparently Colorado State is the cheapest fucking NIL place in the country. And Jay Norvell found a way to keep Horton and this Nicolosi kid, who are probably both pro players, at least draft picks, and see if they can do it in the NFL. Like, they're not paying them anything? I have a hard time.
I would say they are. Buddies of mine have told me that they're paying people quite heavily up there. So I maybe they just don't want their shit out there in the public.
Isn't he putting it out there though? Look, saying that he wouldn't go somewhere and play for money and he can't be poached. So I hope he's not making any money at Colorado State then, because it makes him sound like a total fucking hypocrite to me. That's all I'm saying. Until I know their goal is to win the Mountain West and go in the playoff, and they could. Jay Norvell was really good at Nevada, won the Mountain West. They have a lot of talent on that team at Colorado State, all right? But again, that'll only increase your NIL value. So you're not going to do commercials. You're not going to take the money from the car dealerships. You're not going to. All the Coach JB and I both played in an era where we got stipend checks and couldn't get a fucking dime and got to spend it for hot dogs and fucking bullshit. So the ability to make money is on the backs of everybody that came before you. It's almost disrespectful to not take advantage of it. So I really hope that they're not paying him a fucking red cent, because it makes him sound like a hypocrite.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna throw the kid under the bus without knowing, but he's answering questions that are being asked to him. And like we're skipping over the fact that a bunch of cowardly pussies are poaching these kids every day at every program in the country, and we don't want to address the cowardly pussy in the room, K-State or whoever that's poaching these dudes and calling out those guys. And then when a coach does it, like Norvell he'll call out guys, and then they bash Norvell. And I'm sitting there hold on.
Yeah, but shit rolls downhill, Coach. If Ohio State comes and plucks your quarterback, Will Howard, which they did, they're going to find the next guy to go pluck. That's just the way this works. Again, if they don't want it to happen, then change the fucking rules.
No, I'm with you. But I'm saying, we don't address the fact that we grew up that's illegal. It's still by definition in the rule book illegal.
Yeah, it happens. It happens with me almost every day.
But we're skipping over the fact, and we're just putting it on this kid addressing the question. Kudos to the kid for addressing the question, but he's asked the question. I don't think he came out like, hey, dog, guess what? I turned down 600 racks to stay at Colorado State. No, he was asked the question. So I think in fairness to him, we got to look into the bigger picture of things, and I would be calling out the coach. Hey, K-State, fuck you.
That's a really good take. Look, but at the same time, bro, the ability for the players now to make money is so important. If they don't want the purging to keep happening, which look in the off season and when the transfer portal opens up, my phone doesn't stop ringing. Can you get this kid to transfer from here? What do you think about this kid? Is he mad about his depth? Blah 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 blah. So it's a big problem. But again, NCAA and college football changed the fucking rule, changed the goddamn problem, and there won't be a fucking problem no more. So it's.
But they're not going to, and the problem is the kids.
So they'll never change this bullshit that they're doing.
And we're blaming kids. We're sitting here blaming kids who know nothing, don't know what they don't know, and we're sitting here blaming kids as to why the grown men in the room have made a rule that is fucking setting them up for failure at an all-time rate and giving them opportunity at all-time rate. So guess what?
Hold on. How is it setting them up for failure if they get paid?
Well, first of all, there's guys in college football.
Help?
There's guys playing college football. One guy for Arkansas right now, he's 29 years old. If you don't think that's setting him up for failure, we got a problem.
He played Major League Baseball for 7 years, dog. He has more money in the bank than all these kids.
Yeah.
How is that setting him up for failure? What?
He played 3 years and got 3 more for COVID. So let's just be clear.
That's 6 fucking years. How is playing Major League Baseball for 6 years setting you up for failure, though?
No, he played 3 years baseball and he got 3 years COVID. That's 6 years. So
cool.
3 of those football
even better for him. So how does that set him up for failure?
There's 8th-year guys, Matt. You know that. Florida has an 8th-year guy. We got a guy Utah entering his 8th season as a quarterback.
I understand, but how is that opportunity setting up Cam Rising to fail?
It's not. I didn't say it's setting them. I said it's setting them up for failure, and it's giving him opportunity all at the same time at an all-time clip. The failure part is we're entering the NFL at 27, 28, 29 at all-time rate. That's fact. It's statistically proven. And there, in my opinion, you know me and you go back and forth. I believe the product is worse at the NFL level right now because of the age and the gap that we're allowing in the college football landscape to allow these kids to continue to stay here. And then we go to the NFL and they don't even either A, play right away, or B, play too quickly and are not ready, yet they're 29. So hopefully Michael Penix Jr. at 27 can play earlier than later. So can Bo Nix this weekend. Hopefully he'll start maybe as a rookie, but he's 25 or 26. We got guys all-time highs sitting around college football expecting money to stay longer. And in my opinion, it is allowing the sport to actually take a black eye. I think they're getting a black eye on the sport in the big thick of things, not necessarily just a couple here and there issues. I think it's good for certain people, no doubt. Especially a guy like this kid at Arkansas who probably won't play in the NFL. To your point, he played baseball, got paid already, getting some sort of money now at college at 29. And then when he leaves, what does he do? Who knows? Maybe he goes coaches. Maybe he's a GA. I don't know. I just don't see the benefit for the college game at 29 years old playing, taking up a high school kid's scholarship. I don't see the benefit.
Well, I mean, Chris Winkie played baseball and won the Heisman. But
It was a bum in football, bum in the NFL. Yeah.
Well, okay, but
No, I get it. So did
But
Brandon Wheaton.
Joe
Brandon
Klatt
Wheaton.
is 3 years
Brandon
older than me and played baseball for 4 years before he came to CU and walked
Brandon
on.
Wheaton. Brandon
Like
Wheaton.
that does just because they're older doesn't mean that that's not bad in my opinion.
No, it's not bad, but I'm just saying there's only a few of those guys, Matt, that actually there's not a whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Wheaton, Tyler Murray, a couple guys, you know.
I understand there's not a bunch of them, but out of the older guys that come in are usually more focused and act like grown men and not little kids. So I don't know if we see eye to eye in this.
Okay, so look, you disagree with it, but give me your side. Why are you agreeing with it?
Well,
why do you like it? Or why do you like it?
Isn't it a case by case issue? Like if the kid's older and he played baseball or he's in the military or is a SEAL or some shit, now he has college eligibility and he can play, then we're rolling. If it's a gimmick, then that's something else. But
let me ask you something. Are you discussing the player or are you discussing, because I think we're on this, I think we're not, I don't think I communicated correctly on your show. I'm talking landscape collectively, a sport, the actual college football landscape entering the NFL as an overall sport. I think you're discussing, because you are in the helping kids business, I think you're looking at it as an individual basis. I'm looking at it as a sport. So I just want to be clear before you answer.
Well, I don't think it's bad for either. I don't think that having an older guy on the field is a bad thing if he has eligibility and can play. And I think it sets a good precedent for the younger guys and teaches them how to operate a little bit and gives a little bit more flexibility and diversity in the room. That I think that's a good thing. So I don't think that there's obviously negatives in the process on how things are done, but I don't think there's any negatives in paying the kids, and I don't think there's any negatives in allowing an older player to chase his opportunity if he was doing something else. So
here's my
I don't
take.
think it's a bad thing at all.
I'll give you my take. I know Bailey wants to. I'll give you my take of why I think it's bad for college football as a whole. Number one, we got older guys chasing a dream that young kids' dreams are being washed away for. So they are entering the portal, because now you get an older kid who takes my position, who's played and been there, done that. Now I got to go enter the portal, because we know that in this era, that's what they do quicker than staying and fighting and competing. They just enter the portal. So I believe it ups the number in the portal, and I believe it ups the number of competition that people actually want to stay and fight and play. And these kids now are losing in high school, either A, sitting out due to COVID still, meaning that they passed the test without even having to take an ACT, SAT. Now it's a sliding scale GPA issue. They have to sit out now because Division I scholarships are not being offered to as many high school kids as they once were, because they rather jump in the portal and take portal guys, which we all know is fact. And then when the high school kid sits out a year, instead of going JUCO, which you and I discuss on my show all the time, they sit out a year. And then when you add a 29-year-old to the party and the kid goes there and then says, oh, I can't compete here anyway, I'm transferring. Now that's the snowball effect that I see is a bigger problem. Not kudos to the kid. Kudos to the kid that makes it and he's older and he gets an opportunity. I just think overall snowball effect, we're not seeing it right now, Matt, but I think in 3 to 4 years, we're going to sit back and be like, fuck. This game has gone to an area that we've never seen before. We're losing the ground, our blood life, which is high school and JUCO. We've lost that, and now we're eating each other in the portal. We're eating off each other like we don't want cows to do, right? We don't want them to eat each other. We're eating each other now. Eventually, you're going to run out of the blood life.
I will say this: as a player, I would rather have my future in my own hands. Like if you're not going to give me what I'm worth in college, it teaches them to stand up for themselves, number one. You don't really know you can fucking tell a coach to go fuck himself until you're in the NFL and someone disrespects you. And one of the fucking veterans is like, don't let that shit happen. And you're like, okay, I can actually stand up for myself now. If you have money in the fucking bank and all of a sudden you're playing really well and the college that you're at doesn't honor that and somebody else wants to pay you, that is the definition of free agency and the ability to make money off your quality. So I don't care if it's referred to as a mercenary, like playing for free sucks. So this whole question, I guarantee you this fucking kid is not playing for free. Horton is not playing for free.
No, they're not. That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
No way. So I guess he should give all of his money away since Kansas State's bad for offering him $600,000 and he's not at Colorado State to make money. I hope he's not making any money at Colorado State because it makes him sound like a fucking hypocrite to me. So I don't know. Let's move on to
I don't read that. I don't read this the same as you. You must be seeing it some way different. He was asked a question. He's answering the question. I'm looking at it from his point that he's defending the coach for saying, "Hey, K-State, stop poaching my guys." And I think the quarterback had his back, and I think that's what we need more of.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope that if he's going to show this much faith and love and support for his university, I hope that the university is breaking him off and paying him. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure they are.
I can't just be a fucking $100 handshake. Like, hey, thanks for all the work. Like, if you're valuable, that's like, the Joker says it. If you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're valuable, you need to be paid because of your value. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, I don't think he's staying there if he's not getting paid. I think he has faith.
No fucking way. So that's my whole point, though. It makes what he's saying sound a little fishy.
But to your overall college point, like these cats that are, getting to control their narratives kind of because they have money in the bank. I also, me and you always disagree on the whole overall point of this because I don't think you can coach anymore with this new law and rules in place. I'm all for being paid. I've always been for getting kids paid. I just don't agree with how they're doing it now because it's open Pandora's box to where I don't think you can coach kids anymore like we did. I think we're making less men in the world than we used to. And I don't think you can actually teach kids anything now because they do have money in their bank at a 17 to 20-year-old range. And I don't think they're invested like they used to be to getting to be the best possible player they wanted to be because the NFL ultimately was the prize. Now, I could stay in college 5-6 years and make about $2-3 million and make my rookie contract money at 26 in the college.
That's a good thing.
But look, I think it's good for him.
We must be talking about two different groups of kids, bro, because the guys
it's good for the kid.
And all my guys are just they're more motivated to go get paid and go to the NFL now. I don't see the same thing you do. And I disagree, but that's the.
I only see it because I see what we're seeing at all-time rate. We're seeing that to me, we get to the NFL, which I ultimately judge this off of, like the injuries at all-time high, the lack of playing in games, the lack what we call load management, whatever you want to say. I just start to see it snowball, and that's why I look at it like, oh, good for the kid, get paid, dog. I want the kid to be paid, no question. But I'm just saying the manner that we're doing it, I think we're seeing more and more of lack of tough skin. I think we expect now more and more than give. We want, and we don't want to give anymore at all. Not only to the game, to your brethren, but to the sport that has allowed us to fucking earn this money. I think it's a slap in the face.
Look, maybe it's a national thing that you see that I don't, but for 15 years I've been fucking working with generation after generation, and I don't see that at all. Every kid, Trey Zune getting paid at A&M, started 40 games at left tackle. That he's earned that fucking money, and he's just more motivated to go in the first round. And I just think that there's a lot of fucking dogs out there that now they're getting paid, and some people don't like it. And look, it's. I'm not saying that's
I like it. I
want the kids to get paid, but.
I like
at the same time, I don't think it's ruining things the way you do. So
I like it. I want them to get paid, but I just think that overall, I think as they move up the ranks, I don't know. I just see that. I think they should make as much fucking money as humanly possible immediately. So
I agree. And JB, if you want them to get paid, but you don't like this format, what's the solution? What do you believe the best solution is?
Well, see, this is the thing. We've skipped over the fact of this is not name, image, and likeness anymore. So we need to stop saying it like it's not. And when I first came out 4 years ago, and Matt and I were talking about this years ago, and I said, listen, if we're going to pay them off name, image, and likeness, what that means is I can walk into Colorado's student store right now and buy a Matt McChesney jersey, and Matt McChesney gets paid for that purchase.
Yes.
Or Cadillac goes to Matt and says, here, Matt, I would like you to represent Cadillac. I'm going to use your name and number on our cars and our license plates. And that's name, image, and likeness. It's not that, dog. Stop saying it. It's not name, image, and likeness no more. It's never been. It's pay for play. It started 4 years ago, and this is all a gimmick for collectives to fatten the pockets of certain entities that are actually paying guys that used to pay us, me and Nat, with a white envelope in a room. That's what's happening now. And now we look at it saying, "Oh shit,
that never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about."
And me too. But NIL, bro, that's name, image, and likeness. It's not that. It's not. It's the highest bidder gets the guy. Stop it.
That's what it is. That's any business. Like if you have
that's
leverage,
not what it started as. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you have leverage as a coach, okay, put yourself in coach's shoes. You're a coach. You're coach X at X university. You're killing it. Y university doubles your salary, and X university says stay because you're loyal. You're gone. You're going to Y university immediately.
But that's not the question Bailey's asking. I'm saying,
but if you have leverage, regardless if you're a player or a coach, it's been earned.
Yeah. But the thing is, you squeezed out the paste, and there's no way to get it back. If this was really NIL, then guess what you should have did? You should have signed Bailey as his star. You should have signed Matt as his star. Matt coming in as a 4-star. He gets X amount of dollars, and then he allowed to get this NIL money over here. Bailey came in as a 3-star. Guess what? You get less money than that, but you're allowed to get this dollars on your side.
Well,
now what they've done, now what they're doing, but that's now with this collective bargaining sort of agreement with this revenue sharing. Now that's going to be the salary they get, and NIL money is going to be on the side. That's going to be collective.
I'm cool with that too. I just want, I don't care if they have $20 million each school, like you're talking about, to a lot. I'm cool with that too. I don't really care how it's done.
But
personally, I'd love them to sign multi-year contracts and be held to them and not be able to go in the transfer portal and shit. So if that has to happen, then I'm with that too. I just want the guys to get fucking paid.
What I'm saying is, though, this is how it should have been from the gate, or not at all. We now keep changing it every single year, and now we have accepted the norm to be the latest rule change. No, go back 4 years to NIL. NIL was name, image, and likeness. We've changed it 4 times in 4 years.
Well, then, do you think they're changing it for the better or the worse? Now they at least have 20 million to a lot. They're trying to make it right, in my opinion. It's just the NCAA. Keep that in mind, and they're all fucking.
Yeah,
really
non-carrying assholes of America. They're never going.
Yeah,
they're never going to pay you. They're always going to avoid to pay you, and that's the bottom line. It's a meat market. The kids are pieces of meat. The coaches are pieces of meat. Contrary to belief,
everyone's a nail to hammer.
They run the shit. And here's the thing about it, though. Like, if we look at it as a big picture thing, I'm sitting there looking at it like, okay, I would have paid them off their scholarship, and then I would allow them to go get their own money on NIL deals on the side. Now, having said that, that means you have to stay there. If you leave, you don't get NIL money at the new school, which would allow you to deter you from transferring at an all-time rate and allow you to actually drop your nuts and compete a little bit to earn that money. And then if you go, let's say you are a 3-star and you make this money, if you take a 4-star's job, guess what? You get his money. It was an easy rule to do and make this rule when we talked about this 4 years ago with Sean Salisbury and these other guys. And I was like, I don't understand why it was so hard, because we already knew they were going to come down to this point we're in now. And there would be something that came up that they didn't forward think about and outside the box think about, which now we see revenue sharing and union representation. Now you're employees.
Good.
But are you an employee of a private school or not? Or is it a public school? Can you relinquish your income? No, not at Penn State.
Just like businesses, though. Every business, whether it's in a different city, there's different rules. There's different things you have to abide by in order to operate business. That's no different here. At least college football is now a business. They're not exploiting their workers anymore. That is a good thing. It's not just a coach getting paid and having all this authority over his players because they're getting fucking nothing. Now, if you disrespect me as a man and you treat me like a piece of shit and you don't help me, but yet it's just the constant. It's like the Tua interview. I don't think Tua's soft. I think that absolutely happened. Like the head coach just demeaned him for fucking 2 years and told him he was a piece of shit to where he almost believed it. That happens constantly. I've been coaching on my own for 15 years. Like I've even done it before where you negatively influence a kid and you have to learn from it as a coach and admit that you're wrong. So I just think that this is a good step in the right direction in that regard. The players have a little bit of power. Now, is it going to backfire at times? Yes. Guys are immature and they'll probably go, I'm a grown man. All that bullshit will happen. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that it's better
That's why I disagree.
war
Yeah,
between coach and
I would
player.
disagree. I would disagree with you on the whole man thing. Like, but I'm glad you addressed it. Like, we always used to have these kids, especially the punk ass shitbirds. I'm grown man. You can't holler at me.
Can't talk to me like that.
Now you have it more than ever.
Now can't you just fucking do it? Look, if you're getting paid 600 motherfucking G's,
yeah,
800 G's, $1 million to play, and you suck and have an attitude, I'm going to be more on your ass. Motherfucker, you're making $1 million. You're driving a Bentley and shit. You think you're big time? You're playing like a bitch.
But he
like,
does.
I'm going to go after you harder, not just like,
yeah,
we've
already paid him.
Transfer.
But
if
Matt,
you
you've already
paid,
given him money.
Yeah, but I didn't pay him. I
So
didn't
well.
fucking pay him shit.
But you've already given him well. Well, I know, but we've already given him.
Look, if you're a good player and you're making that money, I'm not the only one going to be applying pressure. Social media is a dog. Oh, yeah. People will be all over his ass. We'll be talking shit. Everybody will be on him. He's making all this money. He can't play. He's going to have to transfer down. He'll lose a bunch of money. Expectation now comes with your fucking dollar amount, players. So coaches that look at it like they can't control the guy anymore now, I look at it like the expectation controls him. It's my job to maximize him. And if he's a turd, he's the one self-harming. He's the one not buying into getting coached. He's the one that's going to go, well, look, I'm a big timer because I got 600 grand. Like, that's one thing in that interview from Nicolosi that really bothered me. Bro, I understand, and what I'm about to say is a little smug, but 600 grand is not that fucking much money. It's really not. I mean, you can invest it and try and finagle it a little bit, but Uncle Sam's taking his chunk, and it goes really fast, dog. That's all I'm saying. Life is expensive, especially in inflation USA. So this whole topic is the old school way of looking at things, which I still think is important at some capacity. It's just not the way it is anymore. So there's too much money. It's too much business.
Hey, it's funny. We won't talk about this on your show because I'm going to do a rant on it later. But it's funny you brought up that Tua thing. We're obviously going to disagree on it. But I posted it. My point is I posted it, and I'm getting murdered by all the fanboys. Not only Miami fanboys. It's unbelievable. I'm getting killed by Alabama fans now.
Yeah, he played there. Look, I don't think Tua's a punk because he has an emotion and he's willing.
No, it's not. So what I said was, I think we've accepted the soft approach as a society. Is my point to this tweet I made, and I'm like, back in the day when Belichick would motherfuck Tom Brady, no one fucking showed any sympathy to him. He only went out and won 7 fucking rings.
Yeah,
but I guess when Bill Walsh
not Bill Belichick.
When Bill Walsh used to fucking slam Joe Montana in the locker, no one said anything to him.
Well,
but now
Flores is not Bill Walsh.
I know, but listen, now we're sitting there like it's a societal thing, man. To me, that's my whole point to the. I was like, wait up. So now we hear Tua tell his bad stories about Flores, and now we're hearing the narrative of, oh, it's okay, Tua. The result is this. You're still been a first-round knockout or not made the playoffs. You're still your arm has not strengthened.
Last year, dog. They made the playoffs last year. What are you talking about?
That's what I said. You're either a first-round knockout.
Year before that.
Okay, you're either knocked out in the first round or not making the playoffs. They're the same result.
Well, that's not true. Not making the playoffs and losing in the first round is not. That's not correct.
I know. That's the last few years. That's what they've done, though.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing at all.
What? There's no difference between Flores and them.
Making the playoffs and losing in the first round, you made the playoffs. You have something to build on.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not. That's what.
So what has Tua's arm gotten stronger since Flores left? Is he still inaccurate?
I think he's way better under McDaniel than he is Flores, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. I just think it's okay to coach your guys hard and also have a good relationship with them. It like a coach that walks in every day while I'm trying to do the job and tells me I'm a piece of shit and I don't want you here and I wanted the other guy. So go get the other guy, motherfucker. Like
I just find that hard pressed.
I just be like, fuck you, bitch.
Man, so you know better. You know, Matt, living in this life with Josh McDaniels and these fuckboy coaches that we get out here that are puppets in the show. You've dealt with some of them, and I just find it hard pressed because all the guys that I hear and know Flores and praise Flores, and now I see Tua come out and I'm just like, wait up. You think Flores really a defensive guy is making a point to go over to Tua every day and motherfucker.
He did it to him constantly.
He
did not want to draft him in the first place. But look, I was disrespected. I was disrespected by Josh McDaniels, and I walked away from the NFL. When my career ended, my career ended, and he stuck his fucking head in the training room and said, "Oh, you got ran over by a golf cart, huh?" and started laughing about it. I packed up my shit and walked out. You're not.
No, I know it happens. I know it happens. Like Belichick was easy.
Saying like just because you're a coach doesn't give you the right to just be a total prick all the time.
Yeah, I mean, look what Urban did his last in the league. He thought he could do that to the kicker and all that old shit. Listen, I know it happens. My point is, like back in the day, I don't know if it would have been this. I know we don't have social media back in the day. I know there are other things. I'm the old head on the porch yelling at the clouds and all that shit. But I don't think anyone really cared back in the day. Like, get your job done, dog. You're the QB, dog. You're also the $200 million motherfucker. No one felt sorry for you, dog. I don't. I don't.
Just like Nicolosi was asked the question, so was Tua. Tua was directly asked this question, and he's just responding to it. He didn't bring it up. Yeah. He didn't go air his laundry. He's responding to a question, and he was being honest. I mean, Flores is a dick. And look, it's okay. Look, there's a lot of dick coaches. That's fine. Some guys can handle it. Some guys can't. I'm just saying, usually when you're and I know this because I'm a dick coach. Like I can't coach some people. They're too soft. But I'm also, once I coach you hard and you do your job, I'll love you up quick. I'm real fast to help guys that buy in. So that's all I'm saying. If you're constantly trying to buy in and help, and you're constantly getting shit on, maybe there's something wrong with the other dude doing the shit. That's all. So look, we got like 5 to 10 more minutes, Bailey. We got to wrap this shit.
Yeah, and let's do one more topic before we close out. JB, I can't thank you enough for joining us here. I want to talk about mentality of coaching. So Carl Reed, friend of the show, he's been on this show. He's been on JB's show as well. He wrote an article talking about the Shiloh Sanders case and kind of breaking that down. But in that article, he kind of talks about Deion, and it says he hasn't left his office, hasn't left the building since fall camp. I'll go ahead and read it here. He says, but if Deion Sanders has shown you one thing in his life, it's when you target him, he's always ready to pick it off and go the other way. When I talked to him last night, he told me he hasn't been home since camp started. He has slept in his office every day and is focused on work. No matter what is said outside the building, he knows that winning is mandatory. It is the only way to silence the critics. In football, no matter where you play or where you coach, noise is everywhere. The chat doesn't matter, only the results. You have to bear down on whatever is in front of you on game day. Coach JB, I kind of just want to get your thoughts on that. Deion, having he's grinding in fall camp, and he's very bought in. Carl Reed with obviously very high words about him. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, that's the profession, man. That's the head coaching job title. Like, that's what it is. I think even at JUCO, I stayed in the office, most nights. Like, it's not people don't realize, no matter what level, if you're fully invested in the job. High school, I was the same way as I was in junior college, as I was as a D2 quarterback coach, as I was in the Arena League. I was there. And I was always that guy. And if I wasn't the head coach, guess what? I was the head coach of my position that wanted to be a head coach or aspired to be. So I did the same things as they would. So investment is number one. It seems like he's invested. If he's invested, then hopefully he's doing all that stuff towards the staff right about now. This is stuff that you cater towards the staff as far as getting them better, evaluating them, etc., putting them in the right place at the right time with their position groups and rooms. So I would assume that's what he's doing if he really is there all night. And then because there's nothing really to do with talent. Your talent's there. The talent's there. Now I got a schedule that I've created. Our coordinators have scripted those schedules out. These are the segments we do. This is what I want to see filmed. This is what I want to see with the coaches. This is what I want to see by the coaches. This is what we do after practice. This is what I want to see from each coach's notes. I want to watch the film with each staff, each coordinator, and then I'll watch it with certain guys. I'm probably focusing on the DB room since that's my professional niche. I'm going to go over there and be harder on those guys as Nick Saban was, as I am with coordinators or on the offensive side with the quarterbacks. Each coach has its own niche, what they played, and it's kind of caters to what they played, and that's kind of how it works. That's why this whole Flores and Tua thing is kind of weird because Flores was a defensive coach. Defensive coach players like Flores, everyone I know, and now you got an offensive guy that don't like him. So it's like Dion, he's probably with DBs. Like, this is just what it is. Matt would be with the O and D line more. It just is what it is. I'd be with the QBs a little more. But we walk around everywhere, and that's probably what Dion's doing, being in the office as long as he is, and that's just what the profession actually entails. And maybe, let's just say Dion wasn't this way last year, and he is this way this year. And we don't know who he was. He could have been there every day last year, too. Doesn't necessarily equate to wins and losses, by the way, just because you put the hours in. But the fact is, maybe he's said, you know what, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and it takes longer now, and I've learned that, and now I'm in here doing these things so he's making his time worth the time being there is what my point is. He's actually saying, all right, I'd stayed last year too. No one really knows this shit because I was the head coach, but we went 4-8. This year I'm going to take the same time, but I'm going to do X, Y, Z with that time this year. People don't realize until you're sitting in this chair what the fucking job really entails. So you got to only do it with hands-on gloves, and he's probably learning it and getting more experience day to day, year to year as a head coach. And you may not see great results until year 3 or 4. I mean, it is what it is. But he's learning, obviously, on the job, and that's the best way to learn.
And I agree wholeheartedly. Like, look, you got to set the example. You don't necessarily have to sleep there every night and shit, but I'm telling you, when you're the first one there and the last one gone, everyone sees it. So it's, once again, I've said this several times, but this is like the last dance for the Sanders family together. And I think that it's an incredible opportunity for them. And when Big Man is setting the tone and leading the way that he leads, everybody sees it. Everybody has to push a little bit harder if Coach Prime is setting the tone the way he is. So the same way Coach JB set the tone, you either match it or you walk. So it's no different at my business, the way I coach it, all my guys. Like that's the way it works. So I personally think that Coach Prime is setting himself up for greatness here. So, if it doesn't work out, it's definitely not because of a lack of effort. But again, like Coach JB said, just because it doesn't work once doesn't mean it won't work in the long run. So that's the beauty and curse of football, is you can really struggle, and then one day it just clicks, and you can really think that you've like overcome all these obstacles, and then one day just fall off a cliff or get injured, and all of a sudden you have to start over. So, football is a reps game, bro. It's all about the reps. It's about getting reps. So,
and as a coach, Matt, it ain't about me. It's about us.
Yeah, it's got to be an us thing.
That's what the acronym should be. That was my staff acronym. That was my staff motto. That was my staff mission statement. It ain't about me. It's about us. And at the end of the day, I'll get the blame for the losses, and I also get the wins on my record. But you, as assistants, are the ones that actually make this guy sit in this chair succeed, because he doesn't succeed without a hell of a fucking staff, and that's just.
Well, that's my thing. Is like, even back to the Flores thing. This is the last thing I'll say because I got to go. And I appreciate you coming on, Coacher. A motivated player that will run through a wall for you because he knows you care about him will let you coach him really hard. Mm-hmm. He'll let you coach him hard. But if you just tell him he's a piece of shit all the time, why would I sacrifice me for you if you don't even like me? Like, you got to pour into your players if you expect them to sell out for you.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, we weren't there. We don't know the thing. We're going by his rules. Flores hasn't came out and said anything. I would like to see if he comes out. I probably won't, especially being blackballed. Maybe he probably won't even comment. But I would like to see if he doesn't say, "Man, I didn't do that. I was just trying to get this guy going." What if that was the thing? And no, see what I'm saying? That's why I hate
the conversation started.
Yeah,
at least this starts the conversation. So we'll see. All right, I gotta go. I got kids to pick up and people to coach, and I'm going to Hawaii. We're off tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're gonna have some great guests coming up, so hold on to your ass. We'll be back on Coach JB show on the 26th.
Yes, sir.
26th it is. Bailey, Coach, appreciate you. Everybody out there, make sure you like and subscribe. Dungeon Family's only $2.99. Appreciate you all. Have a great day, and like always, go Buffs. Peace.
See you on Monday.